Peacemaker Season 2, Episode 5 finally delivers on some moments that we've been waiting for since the start of this season. There's two of them in particular. Starting off with Peacemaker in this episode, and one of his big moments. So we finally got the confrontation between Peacemaker and Rick Flag Sr. At least more so on Rick Flag Sr.'s side. And I really like the way that Peacemaker handled it. I like how he more just accepted this and owned up to it. Didn't try to make any excuses. He was like, yeah, I definitely did that. It was my choice, and not a day's gone by that I haven't regretted it. I really liked that. I really liked him taking ownership. I don't know if this is going to sound weird. I'm just not used to Peacemaker being that mature of a character. And I really liked that here. And I like John Cena. I like Peacemaker's growth. I like him showing more this maturity that he's been growing and developing as the season goes on, as he realizes that he's not a good person and he wants to do better. And I do still wish that we got the Rick Flag Jr. setup in Season 1. Because in The Suicide Squad, directed by James Gunn, and Peacemaker Season 1, I don't recall absolutely any setup with Rick Flag Jr. and Amelia Harcourt, and not to mention Rick Flag Sr. I don't recall that whatsoever. And I wish that was there. I think if that was done in Season 1, it doesn't need to be like a main point, but at least start to sow those seeds where we do see the funeral and everything like that beforehand. It would have worked so much better for me, as right now it just kind of feels late and a bit forced. I do like seeing a little bit more of Rick Flag Sr.'s greater plan as till this point, and honestly, I'm kind of doubting he even has much of a greater plan, as usually when people in these situations, especially when it's a vendetta, they spout this greater plan, but we all know that deep down it's just for ulterior motives. But I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. I do like, because his pieces make sense. I like how he explained it and how he got Chris to be lulled in this sense of self-confidence and safety. Of course, it didn't pay off, but I still think Flag's completely motivated by revenge, especially looking at the teaser for next episode. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's just motivated strictly by revenge. And another reveal we got that we've been waiting for is Sasha Bordeuax, in particular with her being a cyborg. Although the reason she's a cyborg is very, very different from the comics, where she was a little bit of relations to Omak, Brother Eye, another cyborg. But I do like that here. I like how they are keeping some of the comic roots, but changing it up just a little bit, just to try to fit it into this universe without going super grandiose and big with it. But also, similarly with her character, I don't love her and Rick Flag Sr. hooking up. There's probably ulterior motives for it, trying to advance the line, trying to get close. Who knows? I don't like it. I don't get why James Gunn is putting Rick Flag Sr. with a different woman every single project he's in. I don't need it. I don't like it. I kind of think it felt really, really forced and a little bit out of place. Maybe we'll get some more with it later. But one thing that kind of surprised me, and I've kind of known it, but this episode really solidified it for me, is somehow Economos is one of my favorite characters of this season. I've been loving him in every single episode. I love his character arc, and here I love him defending Chris, even though it's very much against his nature. He didn't want to do it. I loved it. I wasn't a huge fan of him in Season 1. I thought he was a bit of a gag character, but here, Season 2, he's really stealing the show. I'm so happy with him. And funny enough, tied to Economos, Fleury, who I've despised this entire season, had a good moment. And I really liked how he showed a bit more of humanity and emotion rather than just this bird blindness bit, calling people derogatory names. I liked how he told Economos, yeah, that was the right move to book Chris. Good job for that. I like that moment of humanity and a little bit more emotional depth than just gags, as a lot of this season's kind of just been very much gag related. And speaking of gag related, the Eagle subplot that goes along with that. I'm so happy it's over. I hope it's over. I so very much hope it's over, because to me, it just makes no sense. It wasted so much time, and I don't see the greater appeal of it and what it's setting up. If it does set up something later, I'll be happy. I'll be so happy with it. But right now, it just seems like a gag to me, and I don't understand the point of it. Again, it could be fixed. It seems really weird to have, it's like Red St. Wild, I believe his name was, even in this show, makes no sense. He's not even from DC Comics. It's a new character he made for this, so obviously he has some sort of point. But it wouldn't surprise me if it just wanted Michael Rooker in a show who was good friends with, and this is just how he did it. I'm hoping there's importance for the subplot, because it gives Eagly time to shine, which is never a bad thing, but there really is no point to it to the greater story. But with the greater story, I think probably for the first time, I'm really excited for the next episode. I really like this alternate Earth, as I find all of the moments on this alternate Earth to be the better ones of the season. And I'm really excited to get more into there, especially since there's a lot of theories going around about it. And a couple I really do agree with, in particularly with that alternate Earth being Earth X. As you know from season 1 of Peacemaker, Chris's dad is a very much racist Grand Wizard of the Ku Klux Klan. And now he's being heralded as a hero in this alternate Earth. Earth X in DC Comics, and it probably will be changed a little bit for this show, is an Earth where the Nazis won World War II. Here, I don't think they're going to go necessarily that far, but definitely be very much a racist, bigoted Earth. As in the alternate Earth scenes that we've seen, there have been very, very few, if any at all, people of color. And I suspect there'll be some sort of twist to help cement that Chris really doesn't want to be there. But honestly, I kind of hope there's not a twist, and it really is just this really enticing world for Chris, and yet even with this enticement, he still chooses to go back with his friends. I feel like that would be a lot more... It would be a better character development for his character, as he's making that choice with this really, really shiny new Earth, his perfect opportunity, everything he wanted, as he made this very selfish choice in this episode, but I want him to go back on his own accord, not going back because other Earth's racist or has some fault to it. I want him to choose his Earth out of his own volition. I'm hoping we get to see a little bit of that next episode. These next 3 episodes, no one's seen yet, not even the press, as James Gunn's kept it super under wraps, as it apparently directly leads right into Superman 2, Man of Tomorrow. Supposed to be some really big things coming, and I am a bit excited. I hope it's good, and I can't wait to see it next week. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed my review of episode 5, you can check out my review of episode 4 right now.